Ladies and gentlemen, today we're very honored to have Mr. Pascal from Santander Innoventures. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you very much. We would like to know a little bit about your viewpoint in 2018 for fintech.
Good question. So, we started some 6 or 7 years ago with different waves of fintech, the first and second wave, that had to do with digitization of the front end, anything that was close to the customer acquisition, customer service, and so on and so forth. So either it was P2P lending, alternative lending, robo-advisors, digital banking, challenger banks. And now I think that we're going through a third and fourth phase of fintech with new technologies and business models that are going further down the technology stack of a bank or of a financial services institution. So more towards middle office and back office processes and workflows that are much more complex than just like the front end and being close to a customer, where regulation and compliance is probably a little more complex. And when there's really a need between the entrepreneurs and the fintech startups and a bank or an insurance company to collaborate together, because the subject matter expertise is much more difficult to apprehend just if you're an entrepreneur with an idea. So more complex business models, more complex technologies apply to other parts of a bank, going deeper into the innards of the bank. I think that's quite exciting.
Definitely. And we see that blockchain and cryptocurrencies is making a lot of attention in 2017 and 2018. What's your, let's say, point of view in terms of how ICO is just, let's say, slowly disrupting the VC world?
Yeah. Well, first, and we are probably towards the tail end of that first wave of ICOs, right? That have happened at the end of 2016, fully 2017, and the first couple of months of 2018. So that, from my perspective, looking at it from the US and Europe, it might be a little different in Asia, right? You've had many ICOs, over 1,000. The great majority of them have been either illegal or non-compliant, or both, and many of them have probably been scams. So I expect that to be done with as regulators in various countries jump in and say, you are not supposed to do this, so this is not the right way to go about it. Some people may think that means that it's going to be the end of ICOs as a distribution mechanism to raise capital. I don't think that's the case. I think that we're going to see a second wave of ICOs that are legal and compliant with some type of business grounding, and these, I believe, are going to be quite interesting. Interesting because it's a different way of creating a new business, right? Specifically with distributed applications and protocols with various blockchains out there. And also interesting because it has the potential of disrupting venture capital, right? If you think that in the up until now, a startup over a certain period of time needed, let's say, 100 and raised $100, all of that was raised in capital. It might very well be that going forward with compliant and legal ICOs, they will need to only raise 20 in equity and 80 through tokens at the ICO. So that might very well mean that like VCs will be disrupted and there will be a completely different way of raising capital, maybe fewer VCs, maybe VCs that do both tokens through ICOs and equity. Either way, that will change the business of venture capital investing.
Definitely, especially this year and last year, we're seeing a lot more crypto funds and crypto-focused VC as well.
That's very true, and there I would say, they may suffer the same fate as the ICOs that they've invested in, if they are already invested, because if these are non-legal and non-compliant, they might be in the same types of problems that those startups that raise the ICO are going to be in. So being a first mover in this space, especially when there's non-compliance and legal issues, might not be a good thing.
Definitely. And what would you say is the takeaway from Money 2020? Your biggest takeaway?
Southeast Asia is a vibrant fintech community. I knew this from 2 and 3 years ago when I first visited Singapore and various other countries, and this is a reaffirmation of how vibrant this community is.
Definitely. And do you have any word to say to the Taiwanese fintech and blockchain community?
Live long and prosper.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.